Good morning, dear friends at Beyond 60 Wisdom. I want to begin by sending you a warm, heartfelt wish for peace, strength, and gentle comfort today. Wherever you are, whether you're sitting at the edge of your bed, holding a warm cup of tea, or simply taking a quiet moment for yourself, I'm truly grateful that you're here. Now, let me ask you something personal. Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning, sat up slowly, and felt like your back didn't quite get the message that it's time to move? Like it stayed stuck somewhere in the night, leaving you feeling stiff, tight, and unsure of your first step? It's not just a moment of discomfort. It can feel like your body is betraying you, like aging is slowly stealing pieces of your freedom before the day even begins. That small but stubborn stiffness in your back. It doesn't scream, it whispers. And because it whispers, we often ignore it, adapt to it, or just live around it. Until one morning, we realize this isn't going away on its own. That's why today's video might just change the way you begin every day from now on. Because what if I told you that in just under 5 minutes each morning, right from the comfort of your bed, you could invite movement back into your spine, ease that stubborn stiffness, and start the day with a little more grace, a little more ease, and a lot more hope. You see, this morning tightness is incredibly common after 60. But that doesn't mean it's something you have to live with forever. Your body isn't broken. It's just calling for your attention. And all it wants is a little help waking up. Today, I'll walk you through 3 simple, gentle movements designed for people exactly like you. You don't need special clothes. You don't need to be flexible. You don't even need to stand up. All you need is the willingness to care for yourself and a few quiet minutes to stretch in a way that your back will thank you for. These aren't big workouts. They're small acts of kindness. They're your way of saying, I still want to move freely, and I believe I still can. So stay with me to the end of this video. Not only will I guide you through the exact steps, but I'll also share how to make this into a peaceful, comforting morning habit you'll actually look forward to. And before we begin, if you feel like this kind of gentle, meaningful support speaks to you, please consider subscribing to Beyond 60 Wisdom. Your support truly helps us continue creating these videos, made from the heart just for you. Now, here's something to reflect on. If your body is asking for a bit more love in the mornings, which would you choose? A, keep pushing through the stiffness, hoping it eases up eventually. B, try a few gentle movements that might help you feel better. Starting today, drop your answer in the comments. A or B? I'd love to know where you are in your journey, and your response might just inspire someone else who needs it too. Let's take a moment to really understand what's happening when your back feels stiff in the morning. It's not a random problem, and it's not a sign that your body is giving up on you. In fact, it's doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's just asking you to pay attention. When we sleep, especially as we get older, our bodies don't move for hours. Our muscles, joints, and connective tissues stay still. While that rest is important, the stillness creates a kind of pause in the body. Blood flow slows down, and our tissues cool and tighten just a little. And when we wake up, everything feels a bit stuck, especially in the lower back, where so much of our daily movement begins. Now add age into the picture. After 60, our muscles naturally lose some of their elasticity. Our joints don't lubricate themselves quite as well. That fluid cushion between bones? It's still there, but it moves slower. So when you wake up and your back feels stiff, it's not your fault. It's not failure. It's just your body saying, let's warm up a bit before we go. This stiffness is also affected by how we sleep. If you tend to sleep curled up or on one side for long stretches, your spine may be held in the same position for hours. Your lower back in particular can get tight from being rounded or unsupported all night. Then morning comes, and it protests, not with a scream, but with that tight, tugging feeling that makes you hesitate before your feet even hit the floor. I want to be clear, morning stiffness isn't dangerous, but it is important, because if we ignore it, it often gets worse over time. That little stiffness turns into bigger tension. You start moving less, you avoid stairs, you sit more, and gradually the muscles supporting your back grow weaker, not from injury, but from inaction. But here's the good news. Just a little movement done gently and regularly can reverse so much of that tightness. The body responds beautifully to kindness. When you wake up and offer it slow, intentional stretches, it responds with more ease, more warmth, more freedom. That's why the exercises I'll share in a moment aren't fast or forceful. They're soft. They match what your body needs in those first few minutes of the day. Permission to wake up slowly. You don't need a strong back to start. You just need a willing heart. And over time, your body will meet you halfway. That's the power of consistency. That's the beauty of listening to your body rather than fighting it. So the next time you wake up and feel that stiffness, don't see it as a problem. See it as a gentle reminder. Your body is still here, still working, still carrying you through. All it needs is a little love and a few minutes of movement to say, good morning. Now that you understand why your back feels so tight in the morning, let's give it exactly what it needs. Gentle movement. Nothing fancy. No complicated stretches or routines. Just 3 simple, soft exercises you can do right from the edge of your bed or even while lying down. These aren't about pushing yourself. They're about inviting your body to wake up with you. One breath, one small stretch at a time. Let's begin with the first movement. Sit on the edge of your bed with your feet flat on the floor. Let your hands rest gently on your thighs. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly lean your upper body forward toward your knees. Don't force it. Just allow your body to bend naturally. This gentle forward fold helps stretch your lower back and hamstrings, 2 areas that tend to hold a lot of tension overnight. As you come back up slowly, take another deep breath. You might already feel your spine thanking you. Next, let's try a gentle twist. Still sitting, place your left hand on your right thigh and your right hand behind you for support. Gently turn your upper body to the right, just as far as it feels comfortable. Hold that for a few breaths, feeling the spine gently rotate. Then slowly return to center and do the same on the other side. This movement helps restore flexibility to the spine and wakes up the muscles along your back and sides. It's not about how far you twist, it's about how gently and patiently you do it. Finally, lie back on your bed, bend your knees, and keep your feet flat on the mattress. Now slowly rock your knees from side to side like a soft windshield wiper motion. Go slow and smooth. Let your breath guide the rhythm. This movement gently massages the lower back and helps release any tension that built up during the night. It's calming, grounding, and very easy on the body. These 3 exercises together take only a few minutes, but they can make a big difference in how you feel throughout your day. You don't need to be flexible. You don't need to be strong. All you need is a little willingness to care for your body with kindness and patience. And if you do these movements each morning, even just for a week, you may begin to notice that the stiffness isn't quite as strong, that standing up feels easier, that your posture improves, that you greet the day with less hesitation and more peace. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. These small habits build a foundation of comfort that supports you in every other part of life. They're a quiet way of saying, I still choose to move, to feel good, to live well. So the next time you wake up and feel that familiar tightness, don't dread it. Smile gently, breathe deeply, and let these movements be your way of saying, I'm still here, and I'm still taking care of me. As you begin to make these gentle exercises part of your morning, there are a few quiet reminders I want to share with you. Little things no one talks about much, but they make a big difference in how your body responds. First and foremost, take your time. These movements are not a race. They're not about performance or how far you can stretch. They're about connection, about giving your body the soft nudge it needs to begin moving again. Some mornings you might feel more flexible. Other mornings you may feel tight. That's okay. What matters is that you show up for yourself with care. Don't ever push through sharp pain. A gentle stretch or light pull is fine, but anything that feels sharp or makes you hold your breath, that's your body saying, not today. And it's perfectly fine to stop, take a breath, and try again later or tomorrow. Progress is not always in the big steps. Often, it's in the choice to listen. It's also important to breathe. I know that sounds too simple, but so many of us hold our breath when we move, especially when something feels unfamiliar. Try this instead. Breathe in slowly as you begin a stretch, and breathe out as you release. Let your breath guide your pace. This not only helps your body relax, it also brings your mind into the present moment. Here's something else I've learned from people just like you. Consistency always wins. Doing these movements one time won't create lasting change. But doing them each morning, whether for 5 minutes or just one movement, is like watering a plant. It grows quietly over time into something strong. And don't worry if some mornings you forget or skip it. This is not a strict routine. It's an invitation, a way to start the day with love and intention. When you return to it the next day, you pick up right where you left off, no guilt needed. One viewer once shared with us that she sets her phone beside her bed with a gentle reminder, "Stretch before coffee." That simple line helped her remember not just to move, but to start the day by choosing herself first. Maybe that's something you can try too. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need a trainer or a schedule. You just need a quiet space, a willingness to breathe, and a belief that you are worth the effort. And you are. These movements may be small, but the message behind them is powerful. I still care for my body. I still choose to feel good. I still believe my day can begin with comfort. So go easy, go slow, and go with kindness. Your body will meet you there, step by step. And in time, you might just find that the morning stiffness that once felt like a burden now becomes a gentle reminder of how far you've come. Sometimes the biggest change doesn't come from a doctor's office or a bottle of pills. It comes from a quiet moment when you decide that you want something better for yourself. That's what these few minutes of gentle movement each morning are really about. They're not just stretches. They're a message to your body, your heart, and your spirit that you are not giving up on yourself. There's something deeply powerful about choosing to move when it would be easier to stay still. It says, I still care. I still believe there's more comfort ahead. Maybe that doesn't seem like much, but it is. That belief is what turns stiffness into strength, hesitation into habit, and pain into progress. One of our viewers, a lovely man in his 70s, once told us that for years, he just accepted the stiffness in his back as normal. Every morning, he would shuffle to the bathroom, bracing for pain. But one day, he decided to try just one of the exercises we shared. Just one. The next day, he added a second. 2 weeks later, he wrote to us saying, I stood up this morning without groaning. That's the first time in years. That moment didn't require youth or perfect health. It simply required willingness. And you have that too. You see, what you're doing now isn't just good for your back. It's good for your spirit. It tells your body that you're on its side, that you're willing to show up for it, even on the hard mornings. And when your body feels supported, it starts to respond. It begins to move with a little more ease, a little less resistance. And that is how change begins. Quietly, gently, and always with love. It's easy to think, well, I'm too old to make a difference now. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Your body is always listening. It's always waiting for signals from you. And these stretches, these few minutes of care, they are signals of hope. So give yourself credit. You're here. You're trying. You're doing something kind for yourself. That is not small. That is not ordinary. That is courage in motion. And I want you to remember something. Just because your back feels stiff in the morning doesn't mean your future has to feel that way. You have the power every day to send a different message. That one that says, I choose to move. I choose to feel better. I choose to begin again. Let this be that new beginning. Let this be the moment you stop accepting pain as your only option and start building a new kind of morning, one with breath, with care, and with belief in yourself. Because you are capable, you are worthy, and you are never, ever too old to feel better. Every morning offers a choice. Some mornings begin with stiffness, with hesitation, with that familiar tightness in your lower back that makes you pause before standing. But even on those mornings, maybe especially on those mornings, you have the chance to choose something different. You can choose to listen. You can choose to respond with kindness. And you can choose to move, not with force or frustration, but with patience and love. What you've just learned are not miracle cures. They are not magic tricks. They are gentle invitations to meet your body where it is. They remind us that healing doesn't always look big leaps. Sometimes, healing is quiet. It's found in the simple act of sitting up, reaching forward, breathing deeply, and giving your back the soft stretch it needs to begin again. These 3 exercises may only take a few minutes, but over time, they become a habit of self-respect. They say, I may be getting older, but I am not giving in. They remind you that even in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or beyond, your body is still alive, still listening, and still capable of change. They ground you in the truth that movement is not reserved for the young. It's a right we all hold at every stage of life. And perhaps the deeper gift isn't just the physical relief, but the emotional shift that comes with it. You begin the day not in pain, but in choice. Not in dread, but in care. You tell yourself, I am still here, I still matter, and I will treat myself like someone who does. The lesson here is simple, but powerful. Small, kind actions, done with consistency, can create big change. You don't have to wait for the perfect day, or the perfect mood, or the perfect health. You just have to begin. And then begin again tomorrow. So here's a gentle question for you to reflect on, and I'd love for you to share your answer in the comments. If you could start every day with just one feeling, which would you choose? A, peace, B, energy. Leave your answer in the comments below, A or B, and tell us why if you'd like. Your thoughts may help someone else who's still trying to figure out their own path toward a better morning. If this video gave you something useful, whether it was a moment of reflection, a new stretch to try, or just the sense that you're not alone, please consider subscribing to Beyond 60 Wisdom. When you like, comment, and subscribe, it helps us create more meaningful videos just like this. And more than that, it shows us that these words matter to you. We read every message, we take in every thought, and we carry them with us into each new video we create. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for spending your time here. Let's keep growing, stretching, and choosing kindness together, one morning at a time.